Hi guys, this is a brief recording on how to create tests on Canvas. Um, Before, I usually create my quiz by adding a quiz and creating my contents from there. So this is the recent one. I have 10 questions on my quiz, each worth a point, and so that's a 10-point quiz. What I realized is that by doing it this way, I have several limitations. And I can only do shuffle the answers, but all my questions can be seen by the student as is in the same order. So what I would recommend is to create your quiz as a question bank. You're going to click on this three dot icon, and then you're going to press manage question banks, and you're going to create your questions from here. So here I have generated 20 questions. Once I have this, I'm just going to go back to my quizzes and then create a quiz. I'm going to press questions, and then I'm going to locate that question bank. So I'm going to go to the unfiled question. I'm going to select it all. So I have generated 20 questions here. I'm going to write it as test 1. Okay, so out of the 20 questions that I have created, I'm just going to pick, say, 10 questions, each worth 10 points. By doing this, it's going to start populating into this draft. If I want to have more questions, I can go from a different test bank. I can also go and do that. Okay, I'm going to create a different name. Say this is test 2 to indicate that this came from a different test banks. Out of that 40 question pool, I'm going to just select 5 questions, each worth 1 point, so on and so forth. Okay, so now you can see the two sets from the two different pools. I've collected 10 questions and 5 questions, so there will be a total of 15 questions. So you can create a question bank for as low as 12 questions and then pick 10 questions for the quiz. But of course, the more questions you have in your pool, the more you just created a make it difficult for the students to um, to cheat. All right. Now you're not limited to the multiple choice. You can actually create different types of questions. So if I'm going to show you my quiz for this week, you can see here that you can actually upload a file, and that's very important when you have created chemical structures that you want um, to create. You write it on paper and then upload it on here on Canvas, or you could ask your students to upload their work. So here I have different sets or types of questions. You could do multiple choice. You could ask them to fill in the blank if you want them to predict the product, okay, or the name of the compound, or it could be a numerical answer. So this example here is a stoichiometric problem wherein you're asked to calculate the amount of grams of the product. So you could write your answers here with the room for error. So this is your margin. So if the student will answer 40.8, the computer is still going to say this is correct. And this is important, especially when students have different periodic tables. So they use different data in order to calculate this problem.